everybody, welcome back. My name is Cassie, I am the Evil Secret Ninja, and this is my channel where I talk about books and review books. So today I am doing my weekly wrap-up for last week, since this will go out on October 10th. And so these are all the books that I finished, what I'm currently reading, and what I plan to pick up next. So I finished 5 books this week, and it's a little below my average, but I fully blame it on reading the Stormlight Archive, on reading Rhythm of War. Okay, so I finished 5 books. The first book I finished was Jade City by Fonda Leigh. This is the first book in the Greenbone saga. This is a fantasy that takes place, I wouldn't say it takes place in modern times, but it's not like in medieval times. There's cars and guns and different things like that. And this is based on, the magic system is based on the use of jade, which if you've never seen jade, is a really pretty like green rock when it's all polished and everything. It looks really awesome. Jade is kind of a status symbol, and there's only certain people who have been trained or capable of using jade without going crazy. But this new drug has been developed that allows everybody to be able to use jade. So now there's like a much bigger like black market for it and everything. So we have a bunch of like clans that, you know, control the jade and the production and sale of jade. They're like fighting. They have like little skirmishes on the street, and then some things happen that aren't supposed to happen, and they get a little bit more intense. So I really enjoyed this book. I'm looking forward to reading the next one, which is Jade War. The next book was The Lost Soul of the City by Dean Koontz, and this is the season 2 of the Nameless series, and this is the first book in season 2. And these are just little short stories that are available on Kindle. Amazon Originals, I guess is what they're called, so they're available on Prime Reading. And this was just like 80 pages. In this series, we follow a man named Nameless, and he goes around. He doesn't know who he is. He has amnesia. He knows that he agreed to have amnesia, and that in return he has kind of these psychic powers. And he's also given cases to work where people have gotten away with murder or cruelty or something like that, and his job is to go in and to make sure that justice happens. I enjoyed the first season. Second season looking pretty good. So that is the second book. The next book that I finished was Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. And this is the second book in the Six of Crows series. I like this one a little bit more than the Six of Crows, but I think that's more because a huge part of the Six of Crows was going into the backstories of each of the characters. So we follow a group of people who have stolen something valuable, and now they're looking to cash out. This is all of their schemes and everything, as people are after them because of this thing that they stole, and how they're trying to get their money and protect all of their people. And I think this one really kind of set home like who these characters were and what they were about, and sometimes it was a little bit surprising to see, oh, so this person, when they portrayed him this way, this is what he's really about, and this is what's important to him, and he's not so one-sided as everyone thinks he is. Really enjoyed that one. That was a fun read. The next book that I finished was Death, the Deluxe Edition by Neil Gaiman. This is the first and second part of the Death of the Endless. So this was a graphic novel. It's written by Neil Gaiman, and it follows Death as if Death were a person. She goes around, she's actually quite a helpful person, helping people as they transition. She's making deals with people. She's doing all sorts of interesting things. So this was kind of fun, and I enjoyed that one. And then the last one that I finished was Weird, The Power of Being an Outsider in an Insider World by Olga Khazan. And this was a nonfiction. It followed several different people who feel like they didn't fit in the world that they were put in. So we had some immigrants. We had transgender, some really good representation in how they came to be who they are. They had a girl who had been raised Amish and how she left her community, and kind of all of their struggles and things that they went through, and also the triumphs that they had when they decided to embrace who they were and not conform to the area or the society that they were in. It was pretty fascinating. I enjoyed it. Can certainly see like all the points where I'm kind of an outsider. And does that make me better at what I do? I hope so. So those are the books that I finished this week. Now I'll get into the ones that I'm currently reading. I'm currently reading Best Served Cold by Joe Abercrombie. This is the first standalone in the first law world. And so this one follows like different characters. Right now, and definitely like I can see why Joe Abercrombie is kind of the king of grimdark. It's pretty gruesome, and it just started. The second one that I'm listening to with my kids is The Seeds of Rebellion by Brandon Mull. This is the second book in the Beyonder series. This is about a couple of kids from our world that are transported to a magical world, and they're trying to solve some of the problems that they have there and overcome Moldor, who is the bad wizard, the evil wizard over the world right now. So that one's a lot of fun. I'm also reading Rhythm of War, which is the fourth book in the Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson, and I'm really enjoying it. I should finish it in a couple days. But it has taken a lot to get through. And Stormlight is an epic fantasy. Magic has to do with storms, and I think Brandon Sanderson does like a really good job of inventing races. Sometimes I wonder, like, how would you figure out like what a race does and how it's different from people, and so I'm really enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. The next one that I just started this one. This is Shadow and Sea by Will Wight. And this is the Elder Empire Shadow. It's kind of similar to the other series. In fact, it takes place in the same world and at the same time. It just follows different characters. In this world, you have the elders, who are sometimes they're worshipped, sometimes they're feared, and they're kind of manipulating people to get something that they want. But I'm really enjoying this series. So those are the books that I'm currently reading. So the books I plan to pick up next is The Ghost Orchid by Carol Goodman. And this is a kind of a mystery thriller, paranormal ghost story. So I thought it would be good for the spooky season. And then I'll also pick up The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. And this is, again, it kind of seems like a little bit of a spooky tale about a kid that lives in a graveyard. So, sounds a little spooky. I think there's ghosts and demons and stuff in this too. And then I also plan to pick up The Water Dancer by Ta-Nehisi Koontz. And this is I believe it's a historical fiction. And it's about a kid who, there's like an element of magical realism. And he falls into a river and he's supposed to drown, but he doesn't. So I'll be looking into that. The last thing I wanted to kind of say was that a kind of bookish type purchase that I did was the Reckoners board game. So me and my kids have been learning how to play that and playing that, and it's kind of fun. So, but it's related to bookish things. Alright, so that is my video. That is all the books that I've finished, what I'm currently reading, and what I plan to pick up next. I'm going to enjoy some chocolate cheesecake while I read some books.